mentorship and mental health go hand in hand. And, belonging, which includes friendship and connection, is widely accepted as a basic human need. And mentoring at its core guarantees a young person that someone cares about them and that they are not alone.
I think mentors can impact mentees by sharing their experiences with mental health, explaining that you're not going to get everything right the first time. I see a lot of that, especially with our students, our gifted students that exhibit perfectionism. They are really hard on themselves, and to understand that it's really important to it's okay to fail. You actually learn things when you're failing, and even just being really transparent with the mentees to say, I know someone who's going through mental health issues, or I myself are, and these are the ways that I am loving on myself. These are the ways that I am encouraging myself.
I would say that it's important to keep in mind about the different types of mental health that people go through, especially girls of color, young adult women of color. In our culture, there's a lot of young women, me being one, a young women who wear a lot of hats. So a lot of pressure is on us already. But to even see that our young girls grow up in an environment where they're already starting to feel the anxiety and the confusion, especially transitioning from a middle schooler to a high schooler to now you're a young adult and trying to find your place in life. As an African American, it's important to keep that mental health in mind, and so that we're always trying to rebuild that community up.
It really can speak to supporting feelings of isolation. And, coming out of COVID and coming post-pandemic, feelings of isolation were widespread. And when you have a mentor, you aren't feeling alone. We at Mentor, we support programs by helping them with trainings for their mentors, or set up trainings for their mentors, with trauma-informed trainings. Empathy trainings, I think, are really important. So you might not have experienced the same thing, but you can have empathy.
I'm thankful for my mentor, for her just being able to guide me and just show me new things in life, show me self-care and just mental health goodness, I guess. Your mental health, your peace, those should be your number one top priorities. And taking care of yourself, learning yourself, and just not stressing yourself out with everything going on in the world.
I believe that mentoring is the answer and is such a positive, can have such a positive effect on mental health of both the mentees and the mentors. And I'm just really proud to be part of this movement, and I encourage everyone I know to consider being involved.
Please welcome to the stage Tommy Hires from the Annie E. Casey Foundation and Vice Chair of the Mentor Board.
Hello, everybody. So earlier today when we were in here practicing, they played Missy Elliott, Lose Control. So I thought that was going to be my song. Obviously, it's not. So thank you. I am so grateful for the opportunity to have been in community with a lot of you over the past 2 days. And for those of you with whom I had an opportunity to connect, thank you for your curiosity, but also your generosity in sharing with me some of the stories about both the challenges and the opportunities that you all are facing in your respective communities as you're working both with and for young people and their families. And now on to the reason why I'm up here. So each year, the Corporate Youth Leadership Excellence and Mentoring Award, that's a mouthful, is presented to a young person, a young leader, who participates or who has recently participated in a corporate mentoring program or initiative and show great leadership potential. And I am excited to present this year's award to an exceptional young woman named Serena Patel. And her beautiful picture that y'all should see soon was actually taken by her 14-year-old brother. It looks very professional. So last January, Serena joined Dreamy, a company that seeks to harness the power of technology to break down barriers to equitable career development as a marketing associate. And just 5 weeks into her tenure with the company, she was tasked with helping to develop a plan around executing a women's mentorship program, and she jumped at the opportunity. And she went above and beyond to develop a program that would initially serve a cohort of 60 Latinx women in the field of technology, but it's since benefited more than 2,000 individuals in their career journeys. Quite a leap, right? The Dreamy Mentorship Program, under Serena's guidance, it aims to facilitate career growth, skill development, networking opportunities, and also helps to increase confidence and leadership skills in its participants. And to achieve those outcomes, Serena actively recruits members, carefully matches them with mentees based on their goals. She oversees a structured process that includes regular meetings, skill development workshops, and continuous monitoring and evaluation. And this strategic approach that she deploys to mentorship has led to numerous success stories with participants reporting significant career achievements and increased job satisfaction. The program has a 94% satisfaction rate among its participants. The program has gone, oh yay, good, clap for that. So Serena embodies so many qualities that are essential for an emerging leader: creativity, resourcefulness, a desire to motivate and help others, and also a very positive attitude. The program has garnered a lot of recognition, both within the company and also outside of the company. Her supervisor, Ashima, who's here somewhere today, described her as a rising leader within the company. And Serena is no doubt just getting started, and we look forward to seeing all that she will accomplish for her community and for young people in the future. So it is my great honor to present this very weighty Corporate Youth Leadership Excellence and Mentoring Award to the lovely Serena Patel.
Hi everyone, my name is Serena Patel. First off, I would like to thank Mentor for recognizing me for such a prestigious award. It is truly an honor to be recognized among such talented individuals who share a commitment to fostering leadership and personal growth. I also want to express my deepest appreciation to Ashima Sharma, my mentor and the founder of Dreamy, for nominating me. The Corporate Youth Leadership Award holds a special place in my heart because it celebrates the potential of young minds in the corporate landscape, recognizing the impact of mentorship on the journey to success. I believe that investing in the development of our youth is not just a responsibility, it is an opportunity to shape a future where leadership thrives. And it is with great pleasure that I accept this award in the spirit of shared growth and collaborative achievement. My journey in the corporate world has been shaped by a passion for leadership and personal growth, values that I found a home for at Dreamy, a platform dedicated to revolutionizing career development. It was during my undergraduate studies that I found the transformative power of mentorship. My academic pursuits were marked by a personal struggle to find mentors, a challenge that resonates with many young professionals navigating their own careers. At Dreamy, I found an opportunity to turn that struggle into a mission. In my pivotal role at the organization, I actively contribute to advancing our mission of making career development accessible, equitable, and scalable. I see my role not just as a job, but as a calling, a mission to contribute to a space where individuals can break down barriers, connect, share best practices, and uplift each other. Dreamy has achieved a remarkable 95% satisfaction rate and grown to 10,000 users in just 2.5 years. We are proud to be funded by the National Science Foundation, the Melinda Gates Fund, Techstars, and Amazon, demonstrating the widespread support for our mission. Passionate about the transformative power of mentorship, I have worked to foster a positive and supportive environment at Dreamy that aligns seamlessly with my vision. I believe in the potential of mentorship to bridge gaps and empower individuals to achieve their full potential. Through my dedication, I strive to be an inspiring force in creating a positive impact on career development programs and fostering excellence in organizational growth. In receiving this award, I want to share the credit with my incredible team at Dreamy who worked tirelessly to make our vision a reality. One of our most touching testimonials comes from a mentee. They shared, "Dreamy has been a guiding light in my career journey. The mentorship I received on the platform helped me navigate challenges and achieve milestones I never thought possible." As we celebrate this moment, let's renew our commitment to mentorship, leadership, and personal growth. Let's continue to create spaces where individuals can thrive, break barriers, and reach new heights together. I am deeply honored to receive this award, and I am excited about the opportunities that lie ahead of all of us as we shape the future of youth leadership. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Dr. Falami, self-care ritualist.
When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. It brings me great pleasure to stand before you today, standing on the strength in the service of my vision. I envision a society where all will prioritize and ritualize their care of self. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am Dr. Falami, the self-care ritualist. Now, besides being the self-care ritualist, I'll tell you a little bit about what I do. I do heavy weights. I am a power lifter in the state of Georgia. I am a competitive power lifter in the state of Georgia. I am a grandmother, so I do grandmothering. You see my beautiful grandbabies? I do grandmothering. And why do I tell you that? Because these are just two of the things that nourish and nurture and rejuvenate me, and that is self-care. Proudly standing on the shoulders of my ancestors, I am the daughter of Dr. Etna D. Neal, who was the first African-American woman vice president of student services at Sinclair Community College in Dayton, Ohio. Hello to all my Ohioans, yes. I am the daughter of Leo Neal, high school teacher and principal, a people magnet who loved his family, his friends, and his students. He taught, and I'm gonna have to adjust myself, y'all, because we're family here, okay? All right. He loved his family, and he taught the students that he taught and mentored at the Atlanta Job Corps. I am the granddaughter of Florelle DeVoe, a homemaker, seamstress, deaconess of the family church, who taught her children, especially her daughters and granddaughters, to be strong, independent Black women and emphasize the importance of service and education and service to the community and faith in a higher power. I am the granddaughter of Jewel DeVoe Sr., a World War II veteran with a 6th grade education, whose commitment to his family was unwavering. Now, hold on just a minute. I am the great, 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 great granddaughter of Reverend C.M. Butler, who was the founder of Butler College in Tyler, Texas. My family's commitment to education and service to others is generational. And in the words of Kendrick Lamar, it's in my DNA. I imagine that many of you come from lineages that were deeply rooted in service, community work, activism, and education. Now, in that vein, I offer this invitation right now for you to think of those that came before you and taught you the importance of service and giving to others. On every table, there are note cards. Post-it notes there, take a look, there's some post-it notes. I'd like to give you 60 seconds to grab that post-it note and write that family member's name down that comes to you, that taught you the importance of service and giving to others. So please write their name on the memo pad on your table. I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Should I take it off? Should I take it off? I'm going to take it off. I'm taking this off. Yes. Okay. How you doing? Who are those individuals? Who are those ones that taught you the importance of service and education? Just write their names down. So you may ask, why is this important in today's conversation? Well, these are the shoulders that you and I stand upon, and that continue to lift and empower us to do this great work day in and day out. For some of us, these are the winds beneath our wings. These ancestors and many more, where you and I may have received this gift of a servant's heart. So I invite you just to take a breath in this with me this moment, to just hold on to the fact that all of us have this connection to serving others. And we receive that from those people that you wrote down on that notepad. So let's just take a breath in. You might want to hold your belly and let your belly fill. I'm a mindful practitioner, so I do meditation. And so I want to talk to you just a little bit about taking that breath in, and we're going to have this collective breath, which is so very powerful. So taking a breath in, exhaling through your nose. One more time. It's a collective breath, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Thank you. We have given these folks our breath. So I would not be remiss to give gratitude for being a beneficiary of the mentorship and love of my mentor, Dr. Charlie Nelms. I would not be surprised that someone in this room may know him or even been a mentee of his. He's a proud son of the Arkansas Delta. My Uncle Charlie is a higher education consultant, author, speaker, and activist and mentor. And I acknowledge him. I acknowledge and give gratitude for the land in which was inhabited and stewarded by the Anacostia and Piscataway people that we are sitting on right here in DC. Let this acknowledgement serve not only as a reminder to give thanks to the community and people whose land we reside on, but also a reminder to respect indigenous sovereignty. A big thanks to the amazing planning committee. I want to give a shout out to Jake, to Mel, to Kristen, to Jennifer, to all the amazing folks here and the leadership of Mentor who has centered well-being throughout this conference. Now, Jermaine said in his opening speech yesterday, I was so excited to hear the passion for mental health and self-care, because in his words, he said, self-care affords you to become better supporters. I am honored to be your keynote speaker for today, to share time with you on what I am gifted to do across this country and speak about self and collective care. Now, this afternoon, I'm going to invite you to be a part of this conversation with me. I grew up in a call and response tradition. Anybody know about that? Okay, so even though I've been asked to stand before you today, well, there we go, I heard it, right? I would like for you to engage with me if it's a well, or if it's a uh-huh, or if it's a yeah, girl, right? All right? Now, for the notion of interacting with each other, it might be a bit challenging for some of you, right? Because I know some of you might not feel comfortable in doing that. So I promise you, I'm going to only ask you to speak to one person at your table. All right? How does that sound? That's good? All right. So I want you to reach back on the table at the notepad. I kindly ask you to write the phrase, I dare you. I kindly ask you to write the phrase, I dare you. Mm-hmm. Now, for some of you, I recognize that this phrase could possibly bring up negative emotions or experiences that may not have gone too well for you. I get it. Okay, there we go, amen. All right. Or for some of you, you might have immediately thought of the words from the iconic movie, A Christmas Story, where the young boys, Felix, Flick, and Schwartz, argue over what would happen if someone would stick their tongue to a frozen flagpole. I triple dog dare you. Engaging in a dance of dares, during which Schwartz dares Flick to stick his tongue to the pole. I triple dog dare you. Now, I'm not going to triple dog dare you today. Well, what I would like for you today is just in this moment, in about 2 minutes, because I do want you to have some conversation. First, introduce yourself to the person next to you and say, hi, I am, okay? And then you're going to say what that phrase brought up for you. Have someone said, I dare you, and maybe you didn't feel good, or maybe you dared somebody else. So I invite you for about a minute or two to talk to the person next to you, introduce yourself, hi, and any good facilitator or teacher that many of you are in here. Hi, I'm Dr. Falami. And what this phrase brings up to me is when I was a little girl, and I was on the playground, and this little girl said, I dare you to go over there and tell that boy that you like him. Okay? So, I won't tell you what happened, but anyway. So, what does this phrase bring to you? All right? Introduce yourself, and then say that quickly, and then we'll come back. All right, let's go. You have about 1 minute. 1 minute. 30 seconds. Hey, thank you. 10 seconds. All right, our time is up. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. All right, I was not an elementary teacher, I just picked that up, okay? Thank you. Just a couple of, how did that make you feel? Give me some shout outs. How did that make you feel having that conversation? Empowered. Empowered. What else? Connected, yes. Action. Powerful, very good, awesome. So I wanted you to start to talk early with your neighbor, right? And see, I was really given this talk as a divine inspiration. So I was divinely inspired to invoke this message to you, this dare to you, to understand the criticality of self and collective care in order to cultivate a culture of care and well-being. Now, I may have piqued your interest when I said that it was divinely inspired. So, well, here's what happened. So, I walked into my office to sit in at my desk to begin to outline this speech. I thought about the why. Why is there a need to cultivate a culture of care and well-being for others and self? From the social and political unrest in the United States and internationally, as we still navigate living and surviving the coronavirus disease, new or increased mental health challenges, increased work demands with little or no support, burnout, turnover is at an all-time high, compassion fatigue, high rates of suicide, our well-being is being tested. Wouldn't you agree? When I also thought about the why, I also thought about what Dr. Bessel van der Kolk in his book, The Body Keeps the Score, talks about, and how our bodies hold trauma and the way it manifests in our bodies. So as I walked over to my bookshelf in East Point, Georgia, in hopes of finding inspiration for this speech, perusing the bookshelf that holds a place of rest for authors like Audre Lorde, Patricia Hill Collins, Adrienne Maree Brown, Brene Brown, Monique Morris, I stopped and I saw this wine-colored embossed spine, about 5 by 7 in size, peeking out between Langston Hughes and Don Miguel Ruiz. On the spine of this book that looked like no others were the embossed words that said, "I dare you." Struck by the title, I quickly pulled the book off the shelf and was taken back in time to 1961. As I flipped through the pages, I found a small piece of paper, and it was squeezed right in between the middle of the book. This small piece of paper was a certificate signed to my mother, Edna DeVoe, as an award recipient of the I Dare You Honor Roll by the Danforth Foundation. On the bottom of the paper, it was a challenge to dare greatly, live useful, and share freely all worthwhile things in life. William Danforth, the founder of Ralston Purina and co-founder of the American Youth Foundation, wrote this self-leadership book in 1931 as with a timeless advice for becoming your best self. Now, do you see how this is divinely inspired, right? I called her name one of the first things I did, right? So you see whose shoulder I stand upon and who's the wind beneath my wings. So it is my intention today to use this book as a hook to reel you into this dare, to have you to remember how you can cultivate self and collective care. I'm a former high school language arts and speech teacher, a lover of words and the game Scrabble. I taught my students about creating memorable pieces of writing by using attention getters, such as word definitions and acronyms. So I'm going to do this today. According to Oxford Language Dictionary, a dare means to have the courage to do something, defy or challenge someone to do something. If I was still back in my classroom in Trotwood, Ohio, I would have my students highlight some keywords in that definition. The word that I would like to highlight is courage. Wouldn't you agree, for such a time as this, it is important to be courageous? In her book, Dare to Lead, Brené Brown says, you can't get to courage without vulnerability. Vulnerability of oneself requires one to take an honest assessment of one's state of being, how one shows up in the world, and accesses their deepest fears. So you might be saying, Dr. Fahmy, why is this relevant? So daring is not only about the sender challenging the individual, it is also about the receiver accepting the possibility to be courageous and to be vulnerable. So now that you've had your English and psychology lesson, I would like for you to grapple with this I dare you. I dare you. It is an acronym. The D is reminding you to be deliberate about your self-care. A is to affirm and advocate for yourself. R is to resist and rest. And E is to evolve and engage. So we're gonna talk about deliberate self-care. I believe it is important to be purposeful about the care of self acts. You might want to write this down on your note. The D is for deliberate self-care. Being deliberate about self-care is a sustainable approach to fostering a vibrant and optimal well-being. As the self-care ritualist, when I talk about self-care, I am talking about creating and honoring practices that nourish, nurture, refresh, rejuvenate, and protect your mind, your body, and your spirit. Now, let me repeat that. When I talk about self-care, I'm talking about creating and honoring practices that nourish, nurture, refresh, rejuvenate, and protect your mind, body, and spirit. So may I ask you a question? If you were to think about this week, in what ways have you been deliberate about yourself, about nourishing and nurturing yourself? Maybe you stopped by the well-being room to rejuvenate yourself and take your practice of yoga on the mat, or just listen to me as I was playing the sound bowl. Or you were nurturing your inner child and were coloring. Or maybe you protected your mind and spirit by not watching the news this week. Or maybe you just told someone no. You see, my friends, this is self-care and being deliberate about the choices that center your well-being. Those like you who are in the service of others, you hold space. You comfort, you console, you support academically, financially, emotionally, your mentees. Your investment is wide and deep. The investment at times may be a detriment to your own well-being. I have heard of mentors who spend days strategizing and nights strategizing ways to advocate and assist their mentees while their own well-being is suffering. Those who are mentors seek to be the change that they see in this world. And as someone who has worked in nonprofit doing heart-centered work, I know that working in nonprofit sector provides one of the most challenging and rewarding careers available. People willingly giving of their hearts and time in service to the most important people. So being deliberate about your self-care is not selfish. Black lesbian feminist poet Audre Lorde said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." How many of you are deliberate about taking time to intentionally nourish and nurture your mind, body, and spirit? You see, I'm an A-type. I saw that hand, Desiree. I saw that. I love planning and coordinating. So I apply this love of planning and coordinating to not only my professional, but my personal life. It is an integration. I plan the activities that nourish me. I plan time to be with positive people. I set boundaries of what I will and will not do. This is what my deliberate self-care looks like. We find time to do things for everybody else and not ourselves. And we, again, brag that there is not enough time in the day. I'm saying deliberate self-care does not need to be devoting long hours, but being deliberate. And deliberate could be 10 minutes, right? So if you have your calendar or phone, and we'll do this, maybe you can do this later, check in on yourself. Have you been deliberate about nourishing and nurturing and protecting your mind, body, and spirit? One of the affirmation cards that I have in my deck says, "Today I will remind myself that my self-care time is a scheduled appointment that I will not cancel." So D is deliberate self-care. A is affirm and advocate. Affirm yourself. There was a time in my life that I experienced some personal challenges that impacted my mental and emotional well-being. Those challenges left me with self-doubt, moments of low self-confidence, questioning all what my family told me when I was a little girl. I was beautiful. You are smart. I was raised to believe that. Have any of you ever experienced that? One day it hit me. I began to say, I am going to define myself and affirm myself. That is self-care. So I invite you to consider ways in which you will affirm who you are, not what someone else has told you about yourself. Audre Lorde also told us that if I didn't define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies and eaten alive. Yeah, I'm not having that. I hope you aren't either. So A is to affirm yourself. So again, that is a form of self-care. I'm going to quickly go through what I believe are some examples of people affirming themselves. This was during the month of Black History Month in 2022. This photographer put together this assignment where she wrote affirmations, or had her participants to write affirmations, and she took these beautiful images of them. And this sister said, I'm divinely designed, created through breath and molded with intention. I am plural in singular form, and my existence is a constant mercy, infinitely tethered with every breath I am always returning. This brother says, I embrace clutter-free living. See, every affirmation doesn't have to be very esoteric. It can be very practical. I embrace clutter-free living, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And this is an evolving mindset that impacts all of life. So these are different ways in which we can affirm ourselves. Also, advocate for yourselves. What does advocating for yourself looks like? Whatever you need to be your best self in your position, advocate for yourself. R is for release, resist ideologies, beliefs about being productive. Busyness is not a badge of honor, my friends. It is not a badge of honor. So Resist the ideology that you gotta be productive all the time. You are no less of a person if you decide to take several seats. Okay? All right, rest. Well, you heard me say rest. I want to bring forth that mindfulness is rest. And in her book, Rest is Resistance, a manifesto, Tricia Hersey, some of you might be familiar with the NAP ministry, defines rest as anything that connects mind and body. So mindfulness is a way of rest. So I encourage you to seek mindfulness as a form of rest. And then finally, evolve and engage in collective care. Evolve. I can't tell you how to evolve. You have to decide what that looks like for you. Maybe it's moving from a mindset from where you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or maybe even just last year as a way to evolve. That is care of self. And it's also collective care. Because as you evolve, those around you begin to bear the fruit of your evolving. And engage in collective care. The adage that best personifies the importance of collective care is Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Can we say that? Ubuntu. I am because we are. And because we are, therefore I am. Collective care is what it says, caring for all, not just self. For the good of our world, self-care must also include collective care. So I assert, when we not only practice self-care and collective care, we are open to open space with ourselves to tap into our power. We draw on strength and draw on the strength of others. So when someone in your inner circle calls to check in on you, or maybe you call to check in on them, tell them how you're doing, how you're feeling, or like I like to ask, how are you breathing? How are you breathing? The breath tells so much. So as we begin to focus on the collective care, let's be intentional about stopping and not being so busy to check in on a friend. So also you might want to think about what does that look like in your organizations? How do you do check-ins at the beginning of meetings? Do you have conversations about one's well-being? Saying, you don't have to be on your email all weekend. It's okay. So when we talk about collective care, it's also about policies, practices of organizations. Does your talk match your walk? Right? So I'm gonna get out of here shortly because I want to give you all of the tea. So D again is to be what? Deliberate about your self-care. A is to affirm and advocate for yourself. R is to resist the ideologies that promote or have you to believe that you have to be busy all the time. And then that R means to rest. And rest, again, could be just being mindful, sitting and taking that breath. Sitting and taking that breath. Or maybe it is taking that walk. Then E, evolve and engage in collective care. So before I leave with you in this dare, I want you to listen to this poem, which I love so dearly, by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul, to assist some portion of this poor, suffering world will help immensely. It is not given to us to know which acts or by whom will cause the critical mass to tip toward enduring good. What is needed for dramatic change is an accumulation of acts, adding to, adding more, continuing. We know that it does not take everyone on earth to bring justice and peace, but only a small, determined group who will not give up during the first, second, or 100th gale. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, build signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire, to display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like this, to be fierce and to show mercy toward others. Both acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the tumult, this is one of the strongest things you could do. So, my friends, I want you to be fully lit, a fully lit soul that will continue to lighten the way for others. And the ways in which you can do that is to accept my dare. Is to accept my dare. I dare you to be deliberate about your self-care. I hope that you affirm and advocate for yourself. I hope that you resist and rest. And I hope that you evolved. And so to that vein, I'm going to take you back. I want you to scan this QR code. I would like to start to see this fire, this souls of fire, to accept this dare, to be these self and collective care ritualists where you are deliberate about your self-care. Because if you aren't good for yourself, you can't be good for those that you serve. So I invite you to take the dare. What are you going to do? So I only have a few more minutes. As you are completing that, maybe you want to reach over and say to somebody, I dare you. I dare you. You can say it after you finish, just, I dare you. We all now know what dare means, right? I dare you. 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 And hopefully, as this will, for some of you, this might resonate for you a little bit later, and that's okay. That's all good. You have your little notepad, little memos to remind you. You might want to stick it on your mirror. You might want to stick it on your refrigerator. I dare you. And we'll go back here, and I will leave you with, I guess. Nope, I'm going to go back. There we go. Let's stay connected. If you would like to continue to connect with me, I am on Instagram. You can use my hashtags. Say that you took the dare. Say that you took the dare. That is my Instagram. And I would love to stay connected. This has been an amazing conference. I've had such wonderful interactions with many of you, and hope to continue to cultivate and to remember to bring forth this conversation about well-being. Thank you so much.
Please welcome to the stage Roxy Magno and Turner Cagle from the Multicultural Child and Family Center.
First of all, I want to thank Mentor for giving us the opportunity and the platform to share our passion for the youth in our community. My name is Turner Cagle. I've been working at the Multicultural Child and Family Hope Center for about 22 years. I'm also a basketball coach at Tacoma Community College.
Hi everybody, I'm Roxy Magno. I've also worked at Multicultural Child and Family Hope Center doing exactly what I love, working with kids and youth and families for 7 school years, but I've been in the field for 13 years now. What are we doing today, Turner?
Well, today we're gonna use the brain dance to wake up our body. We sat through a little presentation. She was awesome. But now it's time for us to get some energy. Throughout my career in education, I've had a lot of mentors. And one mentor organization that stuck out the most was Arts Impact. And they taught us to teach through the arts. They taught us theater art, dance art, and visual arts. And so during the dance art, we learned the brain dance. And for our children, we noticed they were more engaged and they were more happy after the brain dance. So
that's what we're gonna do with all of you today. So we do this to activate our bodies, right? So that we get to hear and focus again for the rest of the day. So we're gonna invite you guys up. I know you've ate, your tummy's full.
Everybody stand up.
We're gonna stand up, you're gonna get your own space.
Yep.
And we're gonna engage together. Turner's gonna be instructing it all, so you can't do it wrong. If you're up, you're doing it right.
So the brain dance is strategic movements to wake up the body. It's really easy to do and it's fun. So let's get going.
Just follow us along.
Just follow me. All right, so we're gonna put our hands up really high. Let's put them over here on this side of the room. Let's move them over here to this side of the room, and let's make a really, really, really big circle. Let's go. All right, our first thing is tactile. We're gonna tap the top of our head, but move our feet. Tap. Your faces. Your chest. That belly. Our legs. Next, we're gonna tap our feet. Ready? And now we're gonna go fast. You ready?
Hey.
Now we're gonna wake up our voice and woo, 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 woo. All right, we're gonna take you guys this way. We're gonna go side to side and do it with me, y'all.
Come on.
Now jump back.
Come on.
Yeah,
Come
there
on.
you go. Now we're gonna dance with one side of our body. Now let's do a little Gangnam style, reverse. What about the other side? Reverse. Now we're gonna reach across our body.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Well, there's some cross lateral, there's some grab and pull, and then we'll go right back to the baby, baby, baby. And that's how the brain dance is.
Right. Yeah, give you guys a round of applause. Good job, you guys. Right, so how do we feel, right? You might feel re-energized, you might feel refreshed, you might feel focused. So we do this every single day with our kids. They do 30 minutes of this every single morning. So Turner and I, we do this. Turner has seen a huge drop. He's our before and after school mentor and supervisor. So he had to go into the schools often. Our kids were blowing up, they were leaving, they were being suspended, they were leaving us where they felt so seen and loved, right? They got to be who they were. They would leave us in the morning, get suspended before school even started. Right. What does that tell our black and brown students, right? That they're not welcomed at school. So Turner was going in, he had to de-escalate all the time. We started doing this in the morning. He gets to go to the schools for fun now. Yep. He gets to just go see them because their bodies are activated. What you guys didn't get to do was the solo. So we always do the solo, and it's when the ludicrous part comes on and it goes down. So the kids, we pick the kid that needs that look at me moment, right? He physically gets his wiggles out too. He gets to have everyone pump him up. He gets to do exactly what he wanted. Then we send them off to school, and they're usually good till about recess, right?
Yep, and also sharing the spotlight is giving the spotlight as well. We give the kids opportunity to give the spotlight to the kid that needs that spotlight, and it's worked tremendously. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mentor Washington. This was a great summit.
Yes.
I love that. We got some more energy. I think I was energetic, y'all. I think that was great. Wonderful way to get us engaged. And have you been paying attention to this beautiful art? Yes, absolutely. So I am honored to introduce this amazing group. Life Pieces to Masterpieces is a youth development and mentoring program that provides opportunities for Black and brown boys and young men from age 3 to adulthood to express themselves, teach and uplift others as mentors, navigate structural social barriers, and contribute positive change in their communities. The organization takes its name from the unique artwork you've seen displayed throughout the conference this week. They work together in an each one, teach one mentoring process to paint, cut, and stitch layers of canvas as they sew their life pieces into masterpieces. Through their artwork, storytelling, mentorship, and advocacy, these boys and young men are protagonists of positive change. Please give them a hand as they perform 2 spoken word poems about their visions for themselves and their futures. I am and we become mentors. Take it away.
I am from the broken heart of the nation's capital. I am from a place where I am loved. I am someone who was mentored. I am someone who is a mentor. I am who I am because of who we are together.
I believe in our shared humanity. I believe that I deserve to be happy. I believe that I can transform my life pieces into a masterpiece. I am who I am because I am free.
I have been taught about my history as a Black man in America. I have been taught that it is okay to express my emotions despite the stereotypes I face. I am who I am because of who I choose to be.
I hold the scars of my community's broken heart. I hold the bandages to share with my brother.
I hold the example from my father. I hold the love from my mother.
I am the example for my peers.
I am the love for my peers.
I am who I am because of who we are together.
In a world that threatens Black and brown boys, young and old, we break through these negative self-images, tell the stories of our lives, and build strong bonds of brotherhood.
Sometimes I'm scared. I'm learning it's okay to be scared. Sometimes I struggle with my homework.
I'm learning to keep trying.
Sometimes I think I'm not a good artist.
But I am learning that all art is beautiful.
My mentors taught me that
a mentor
a mentor. First, let me experience nature. My mentors taught me how to play fair and have fun. My mentors showed me that I belong.
We learn. We study. We create art. We hug. We cry. We play. We laugh. We have fun.
We become mentors. We defy the definition of others. We create our own definition.
We connect.
We connect with ourselves and we connect with others.
We create.
We bring out what we're feeling inside. We express our emotions and experiences and capture our imagination.
We contribute.
We all can offer something. We all can have a say in making the communities and the world a better place.
We celebrate.
We celebrate the big things and the little things. We embrace the uniqueness in each of us and enjoy life because we know that I am who I am because of who we are together.
Please welcome to the stage, Jermaine Myers, CEO, Mentor.
We're not done yet.
They stole your song, huh? Stole your song. Out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole. The lyrics would not go to that beat. You know, when I just started to share Invictus, which was written by William Ernst Henley as he was recovering from tuberculosis, he was thinking about the fact that, and conjuring up the energy to suggest that his soul was to be unconquerable. And as I sat and I watched these young men talk about their connectiveness, but also the power and the energy to be open to all of who they are and all of what is possible in their lives, and the pieces that become masterpieces. This was to be a moment for me to say to you that this being my first Mentor Summit, what did I see, what did I reflect, what did I learn? And three things came to mind, and these young men embodies all three of them. One is I saw joy. I saw joy this week because I saw people embracing each other from different parts of the world, intentionally saying, I'm excited about doing this work. And I saw joy on this stage a moment ago. I saw bravery. I saw each of you, and yesterday if you sat in the plenary, there weren't many dry eyes to say that no matter your hair color, your hair texture, and this is from someone who is prohibited in hair, that you're beautiful. But that it hurts to sometimes not be seen as beautiful. And as I walked the halls and saw the various workshops that talked about trauma and the power that trauma and healing can exist equally, it's a brave space to talk about that. To suggest that when we go back home and we meet someone as broken, we can say it is possible to heal. As much as we meet the person that believes that they're perfect, to say that one day when you're broken, who shall be here for you? Because trust me, if you live long enough, you're going to bump your toe. So I saw bravery. And I saw 3-year-olds and 17-year-olds stand on this stage bravely in front of all of you, whom if you really spoke to yourself, you say, I don't really like to talk in front of 5 people, much less 500. The last thing I'll say that I saw was belonging. Can't be in Washington, D.C. without saying these words and saying, beloved community, I see you in a loving space. So I saw joy, I saw bravery, I saw belonging, and I see it, and I ask for you to know that you are unconquerable in the work that you do. The funder will not dictate whether or not your programming will continue. The community will not limit you the access that you need for the space to convene and collect and to bring together and to journey together. Because if either of those two things are true, while we are not a funder and we are not everywhere you are, I will say that we will work with you. And my fervent commitment here at Mentor National is to be partners with you, and as I suggested yesterday, alongside you, listening, collecting, connecting, and convening. And we're going to convene joy, we're going to convene bravery, and we're committed to belonging. Mentor believes that because we believe in each of you. We thank you for journeying here. We thank you for laughing here. We thank you for crying here. We thank you for believing in here. And I ask that you take that with you. It's January, and May's going to look hard. August is going to look even tougher. November will be rough. But count on us being back here next January. And so that you might mark your calendars, they tell me the 29th and 31st on mine are booked to be back here next January. So next January 29th through 31st, we will be back here for Summit 2025 here at the West End, unless we broke something. I'm not sure we broke anything, but I heard a ceiling fell this morning. I hope no one got hurt. Thank you to the Summit supporting partners and sponsors. A special thank you to our lead sponsors again, Bank of America, EY, and JP Morgan Chase & Company for their support this year. I want to thank the West End staff. I want to thank the AV folks. I want to thank all of you. Thank you to Sapphire Events, Jen Whitman and her amazing team at Sapphire, who have been our partners for many years over. Our affiliate leaders, I see many of you are still here. You haven't jetted me yet. And the Mentor staff, Mentor National staff, an amazing, amazing, amazing group of people. And so since I ran out the clock, I will say this. Here's to my better half and all the pieces that make all of us better. Bring it back to the stage, life pieces to masterpieces. Have a great travel home. Wonderful meeting all of you.
Hello, everyone. Here at Life Pieces to Masterpieces, we end off all of our sessions with our process, which we also call our 4 C's: connect, create, contribute, and celebrate. You will do that later. But before that, we will ask you a question. Are you ready? Which you would then reply, born ready. We believe at Life Pieces to Masterpieces, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, you are given the innate creative abilities to guide you in life. So, will you all please stand? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Mentors connect.
Connect.
Mentors create.
Create.
Mentors contribute.
Contribute.
Mentors celebrate.
Celebrate.